today I'll be sharing how we did our wedding invitations on a budget, all DIY. Our focus today is the pocket fold, and this is how we did it. Loads of A4 cards, scissors, double-sided tape, a ruler, some tweezers, and a personalised stamp from Etsy. So the first task I did was get these out of the way and bulk make these little pockets. They were very tedious, and if you're planning to make your own, just be prepared. I started by making this little template just to trace around, and I managed to fit 5 of these onto one A4 card. I needed roughly about 70 of these little pockets, and then once I did that, I just cut them down, and then it was time to get folding. To be honest, I totally eyeballed the folding. I just sort of knew that it was 1/2 centimetre for each fold, but by eyeballing it, none of these pockets were actually the same measurements, so I had to really keep that in mind when doing the next step. For this step, I needed the invite itself, and if you want to see how I did all of that, let me know, I'll do a separate video. I needed some tweezers, and my scissors, and a ruler, and the A4 card. So this is the measuring step, and honestly, I just lined everything up, making sure it was straight at the top, using the ruler then and the tweezers just to make a straight line across. Basically, the tweezers are to just score the paper. It worked really well, but if you have something to actually cut it, that's even better. So after scoring, I folded and then I cut that piece off. I have actually tried saving these scraps of paper just so I can reuse them for something else. The same concept for the pocket. I just lined it up and then just made sure that the edges were just in place, and then I went ahead with the ruler and the tweezers again, making a score and then folding it over. Exactly the same with the invite itself, lining it up, scoring the other side, and then folding that over. After doing about 40 of these by now, I do consider it as autopilot, but just be warned, it is very tedious. I'm moving on to actually sticking the pocket in place, so I'm using the double-sided tape, and I always have the double-sided tape just to save on it basically, and it's thin enough to fit on the actual 1/2 centimetre folds. What I did with these were just line up the outer corner first and then adjusted it so that if there was mistakes, then you could easily remove. Same goes for the actual invite. Cut some double-sided tape, halve the tape, put one on the top, one on the bottom. In my case, you can obviously do it around the edge if you're doing this. And then just placing it, just making sure that I did the top first so it was in line. For the front, I decided that was just a bit too boring, so I marked out halfway points of each of the fold, and then I just made like an envelope, just cutting from one mark to the other. So the green card will be like a band around the envelope to close it in place, and I just marked these out by 2.5 centimetres. This allowed me to have 8 strips in total. So this step was pretty easy for me. I just lined it up in the middle of the envelope, making sure that they looked roughly the same size on each edge, and just folded it in place. Of course, you could actually fold it to the front and use a wax seal to seal it in place, but I just decided to do double-sided tape and just stick it at the back. If you were to do this, obviously you can choose your own colours and get in with the theme of your wedding. But for me, our theme is sage, white and gold. We decided on a stamp rather than a wax seal, just because we can use it as like on our confetti cones and our thank you notes. But this is from Etsy. With all that being done, this cost a total of £49. I've not ordered the envelopes, but those will be £18. That makes a total of £67, making each invite 98p each. If you ever do use this as a tutorial, please let me know. And if you haven't followed me on TikTok already, all my wedding DIYs are on there. So please give me a follow and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Please make sure to like this video and share the love. And I hope you have a very happy wedding day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.